Okay.
Hi, Denise, and hello, my boy Erik. Happy birthday, belated. You had a birthday Saturday, just two days ago. So happy 30th. Oh my God. Wow.
He's he says hello, mama. He says he's jumping around like he hasn't aged a bit. He's like really flirting his flexibility,
Oh.
and he's also while he's doing it, he's eating chocolate cake.
Mm.
He's eating chocolate cake.
Well,
So
we got you a cake and we lit candles and we sang and so
he said you knew everybody knew, or almost everybody knew I was present. Is that
yeah.
true?
Yeah, we felt, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
He says he goes, you can't miss your own party. But
Yeah,
yes,
and yesterday too, I felt. In fact, when he's around, for some reason, I feel like a little down. I guess it triggers something. But
yes,
Itsy Bit's just a little dysphoric. So thanks a lot. But I felt like that was probably because he was around.
he was definitely around, and he's telling me that you're becoming, not that you weren't aware before, but you're acknowledging like, yeah, I do see and feel, like you're
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
um, yes, that's what he tells me, and I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't just start channeling him.
Oh God. I don't know. Too many
Yeah,
monkeys in my brain. But you never know.
that's
But I don't know. I mean, I just channel them for my own purposes. All right, so we are going to do the Anunnaki part 2. I never heard of Anunnaki until this whole thing, channeling Erik thing happened. I had no idea. But anyway, so hopefully this is right after, on the heels of me publishing the first part. So a lot of the remaining questions are from blog members. So let's get started.
okay.
One blog member wants to know, what do they want for us? I mean, what is likely to happen when they do eventually return en masse? I mean, I hear you're coming back. When and why? So what's going on?
Erik says they're not coming back to take over the world or destroy us or hurt us.
Phew! God.
He says that they're coming back for there's something that we need from them and stuff that we need from, and we need from them and they need from us. you
Ah,
know it's not about they're not coming back to
conquer.
take, yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
And Erik says he knows that there are videos out there that maybe go in that direction, but he's telling me that's not true. He keeps telling me they talk about these Anunnakis on Star Wars, the movies. They talked
Okay.
about them in there too, and
Really?
that's what he's saying. So when he's saying that, I'm thinking I remember it was like maybe the what he showed me. I feel like maybe it was like Star Wars 2 or 3, one of those, because there were so
Okay.
many of them. But he says that it's they're just, he makes me feel like they're coming back just like animals come back, or
Oh.
people come back. They're not,
Hmm.
um, and I don't feel like we'll be so startled by it, because I feel like
Oh.
then we
Yeah.
will have already had encounters with other kinds of um, ETs, for lack of better ways of putting it. We will have already had some kind of, not some kind of, we will know. He's just shown me we will have had visitors, I guess would be a good way.
Oh.
Visitors. And I also, the way Erik is showing me, like they respect us where we are. And the thing is for us to respect them, I
Yeah.
guess, when they come, or I don't even know like how they, like what they will look like.
Are they gonna? Are they come in as human hybrids and stuff instead of like just like creepy looking. Well, no, I'm sorry, creepy looking, but instead of like these different looking aliens. Is that what you're saying? So it's more subtle. What? I mean, what will they come back as? What will they look like? And also when?
Erik says, when they come back, and when he was talking a little earlier to me, he gives me the impression that they're going to be coming back as something that we're not so shocked by,
Ah,
It's
okay,
almost,
good.
yeah, he says they'll have some human-like features,
Okay.
but it won't be so shocking,
Will
I
they
guess.
become as children born into us, or were they like, boosh, poof, there they are?
He says both.
Oh, wow.
He
Cool.
says both.
So
He
when?
says,
Oh, sorry.
when,
I mean, free will and all,
I don't think, like, in my lifetime.
Okay.
So are you saying I'm not living long, Erik?
Oh my God, scary!
I feel like Erik has shown me it takes time for this because
yeah.
there's a lot of activity going on the outside that we're so unaware of, and that we're becoming aware of, and just the stuff that we've learned, in the past 5 years of what's out there and what we consider to be the truth as opposed to what we're told is pretty shocking for us, and we still have a hard time absorbing that.
Yeah.
So can you imagine these people coming in 5 years, start coming in? It would just be too much, because he says there's still a lot more stuff here to unearth for us to get accustomed to and get used to, that what we think is what's happening isn't what's happening. So I feel like this may be, he keeps showing me 20 or 30, and I get that's like
2030 maybe.
Yeah, it could be 20, 30 or 20, 30 years. He keeps showing me 20.
Oh, okay.
Before.
So what is it? Is it, hey, hang on, just tell me when, but I'm going to mute myself because I need to tell these people to be quiet in this house. Just a minute. Go for it, Erik.
He says like 20, 30 years is what he's showing me, because 20, 30 wouldn't be enough time. So it's like 20, 30 years, but I don't feel like all of a sudden, poof, they're all here. I think it's going to be kind of a gradual thing, and it's going to be, they're going to come where they're going to be more, where people are more receptive to them.
Okay.
Because there are people, Erik says, that I don't know if they channel them, or I don't know if they channel them, or they're just in contact with them. They connect with that energy. They're able.
Probably both. So how long have maybe there's some Anunnakis here. Get the black bag too. Anyway, okay. Sorry. The black bag. Okay, so how long have you guys been on Earth? And are you still here? If so, in what kind of form?
I feel like it's how long were they? I'm getting thousands of years that it's been.
I bet.
Thousands of years is what he says, and Erik is showing me with him that, I say him, that there's like an underground city underground the earth. You know,
Ooh.
there's stuff that's
Where?
underground. Like it's kind of like a like and as Erik has shown me, it's like an underground. It's not just
Like in tunnels or caves or?
I just the way Erik has shown me, it's just like I don't feel like it's even caves or anything or tunnels. I just feel like there's just a whole nother underground because you know this he's showing you know the depth to earth. There's not it's not like going out and digging a hole to plant a tree. And Erik, they're both showing me it's like there's levels to what's going there, and we hadn't even touched we hadn't even begin to touch the surface of
Well,
what's
there's only
under.
so much you can dig until you get to the core and, melt your ass off. Are you talking about like a hollow earth kind of thing? A big cavern of a different, like, civilization underground or what?
What they're showing me, like, yeah, like, it's like just a whole nother section to earth is what they're showing me.
Oh, okay.
Just
Where?
and we don't have the equipment they're showing me to dig even further down,
Oh,
to even get in there,
yeah.
and nor would they or anyone else allow us to go there
Oh,
because to destroy that.
oh no. So what part of Earth, if we dug and were able to dig, would that be in? Antarctica, Norway? I don't know what.
You know, when you said Norway, I just get a very cold environment, and I get a very cold environment. Um, it's almost like where civilization really isn't even taking place, and so they're showing, and they're not. I feel like they are like not really wanting to say, but if I had to say somewhere, I don't even feel like it's around here at all. I
Maybe
mean, and
Antarctica?
in the U.S. at all.
Yeah.
I'm wondering. I just feel like some like Russia or something. I feel
Okay.
something like that. The cold, but it's just in a place that's just not where people don't live. There's like
Ah, so maybe it's Antarctica. Is it Antarctica or Siberia or some other place, Erik? Or Anunnaki, Mr. or Mrs.?
Erik is telling me he's saying that where they're showing, you know, because he's showing me how Russia is close to, you know, and our, you know, like where he's showing me how it's not as far as I think it is. So it could be in that they're just like being real.
Okay, they don't want us to know. That's
No,
fine.
no,
That's fine.
and I feel like the reason why is because people have gone out there to
Ah,
they go out there, um, very inquisitive people. They tell me go out there, and what we don't even know about are
yeah.
going out there because
Okay.
because of the energy out there. And when he's saying that, I'm thinking to myself, that's been a place I've always wanted to go, is to go to the Antarctic and just sit there and
Yeah.
listen to the silence.
Okay, we're gonna have to move along a little more quickly. Sorry,
No, no.
because I've been asking questions after the questions. Sorry. Were Hindu Indian gods Anunnaki? And what was their agenda on that part of the world, and did they succeed in it?
Were they related?
Hindu Indian gods. The Hindu Indian gods were they really the Anunnaki?
Mm, they they show me like they're like what we would say is cousins.
Ah, were
Like
they
that's
what, reptilians or?
mm, I I don't get that. What they're showing me, he says no, they weren't
So there's
that.
another race.
But when
Okay.
yeah, because yeah, he says no.
Okay.
So
Now my question would be, in this blog member, how exactly did the Anunnaki tinker with human DNA in order to evolve it?
he's telling me it's about manipulating energy, and I'm asking him, so when you say it's, and this is how I'm perceiving it, and I'm asking him, when you say manipulate energy, are you saying that you just went in there and manipulated us? And he says, because I thought that was kind of rude to just.
I know.
So I was asking him, and it's not the manipulation where we don't have control of it, but it's just how he's showing me how they're able to. He says, and remember, everything is with permission, and so they're just, somehow he's showing me how they are able to intertwine with our energy somehow.
Yeah, everything's energy, including DNA. So it uses to manipulate it, but they do it for good or evil.
He says we're all for good, regardless of what anybody else thinks that they find or hear or say.
Okay.
He says it's not. And then also I'm hearing it's all on our interpretation of what we think is bad or good.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Can you please ask if they really are the controllers of the world, or the Anunnaki?
He says they're the controllers of their own world, but we are also the controllers of our own world. And that's the point that we don't realize. And when he's telling me this, I feel like when he's saying that, like I have control over my world here.
Yes. Yeah.
And everybody is their own world. And that's the whole thing that we are totally, he says, separated from. We don't realize that.
Yeah.
And that, and then that kind of goes into some other conspiracy things that are going around and makes you think.
Well, a lot of people just tend to think the worst case scenario of everything, including probably the Anunnaki. Here's one, for example. People say they are the evilness of the world. What's going on now, and do they really trick us when we die to reincarnate so they can take our energy?
I get that is not true at all.
Oh, good. Is 2028, is that when things change over for them?
When things change over for
Whatever
them,
that means. I don't know.
I know, and I'm picking up from that sentence that they mean, like, is that when things change over for them, like not in a good way? And I just don't get that these are
Hostile creatures.
I really, I don't get that. And what I keep getting is we're looking in the wrong place for that, because we keep looking on the outside for everything. Is what they're showing me, and it's I just don't get that. And I'm also getting from that there's also some kind of force around us, which I don't know anything about, but what they're showing me, there's a force around us, I guess around Earth, that's protecting us from anything that comes in here that is not here for our own good. Yeah. So
well, maybe this is what this next question means. Have the Anunnaki created a red energy of fear to keep us at a lower vibration? Maybe it's not that. Maybe they've created something, more positive. I don't know. You tell me.
I don't, he's telling me that they did not create an energy to keep us in fear, but there is an energy that is, that does, I feel like, there isn't like an energy bearer around us, but he keeps telling me that we're looking
Who's
in the
he?
wrong.
Is it Annunaki or Erik?
He is in an Anunnaki.
Oh,
Eric
okay,
is
got it.
saying,
Got it.
but he is telling me like we're looking in the wrong direction for this kind of stuff. We keep wanting to find um, somewhere to blame,
Yeah, of course.
and
Yeah.
and it's okay, you know, to he's telling me it's okay to blame, and Eric is with him on this and saying that, so we blame him, so then what's our responsibility? Where's our ownership of anything? And he's saying, you know, yes, there are things going on that are kind of like out of our control, so to speak, but we do have free will,
Of
and that
course.
is what we forget about.
Yeah.
And
We shouldn't just sit there and be victims. You say, hey, you know what? Let's take care of this shit.
and there is a universal law that cannot be broken.
And what is that?
You know, the universal law is of, you know, that he's going in, you know, about we are the the creator. We are, you know, the source.
Yeah.
We are these are things that,
We are whole and part of God. Exactly.
right.
Yeah. Wow.
And I feel like they're, the way he's saying it, it's like we're all connected. We're not separate.
Including with the Anunnaki. They're all part of the same
Yeah,
collective that is whole and part of source, of all
correct.
that is, of
Like,
love,
yes,
of light.
yes, of this infinite source. He's
Wow.
showing me
So
this.
wow. So including the Anunnaki. So they're not like these evil creatures that, whatever. They're part of God, and as are we. And it's like they're, unless they're trying to be evil to create polarity for the human experience, but that can't be right. All right, is it true that the Anunnaki are trying to slow down the healing of the earth? Boy, they get a bad rap, man. If so, why and what can we do to stop it? Are they really slowing down the healing of the earth? Just that's all I need to know.
When you ask that, I get that there is some truth to that.
Oh, is it because we need to learn something? Maybe it's a positive reason. Tell me. I got that too.
Be-
It's like, oh my God, they are, and there's something good about it. Go for it.
Yes, because with the slowdown of it, um, it's making us really look at things, and it's allowing things to come up to the surface, like everything has. Even though people think the world's fallen apart, it's really fallen into place
Oh,
with everything,
wow.
and
Hmm.
it's we're, he says we're at a point where we as a collective consciousness are sick of repeating history.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of good things. It's to help us. The way he says is slowing it down so we can really look at it and go on. It's kind of like getting out of debt. You know, somebody gives you $20,000 to get out of debt and says, here, you know, here's your $20,000. You don't have to pay me back. Well, if you never learned how to not get into debt, then you're going to get
Yeah.
into debt again.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I feel like this is kind of the same thing as what he keeps coming as a he, what he is telling us. But I just don't get there as monstrous as some of the people
I
say.
know.
I don't
Wow.
know anything about them, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. That's good. All right. So, Also, I'd like to know what the famous ones are doing relative to us, like Enki, Anu, Enlil, and Marduk, or what they do in general for that matter. So, what's the famous ones doing? The what is it? The A group, the A class.
You're very good with the names, say, by the way. um, the famous ones, what are they doing? You know, I feel like they all have their own properties or responsibilities on what they're supposed to be doing, and tending to different aspects of this planet and other planets is what they're showing me.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Are they good? Are what they're doing is good?
Yes, but you know, he says, you know, it's just like the human race. There are, you know, bad apples in every bunch.
Yeah. But of the ones I mentioned, is there a bad apple? I'll repeat
I don't get that.
Okay.
I don't get that there is. I get some that are um,
Slackers, whatever. I mean,
very, very, what we would call as real stern or something. You know, that kind of military type
like
form.
hard asses, drill
Mm-hmm.
sergeants. We
Mm-hmm.
probably need that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
All right. I was wondering if the Nephilim existed on Earth. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Whatever. And do they still exist and are in like a sleeping state, waiting to come back?
He says everything still exists. You know, we're not.
Oh yeah.
The energy is still there, so everything still exists. That's what he says. Everything still
But are they
exists.
still on Earth? And are there beings alive today that have that Nephilim or whatever DNA in them?
When you said that, he's showing me like a little bit. So I'm wondering. So when you say a little bit, do you mean? I'm asking him. I just feel like there are some people here, I would say, that have a little bit of that DNA in them, because he's showing me a little bit.
Ooh, anybody I know? Anybody in my family?
He says no, and I feel like these people that have it are very almost like these like extremely empathic healers,
Oh, okay.
and they live like in a tribe that's not even that's what would not civilized, I guess would be a good word. You know,
Oh,
I mean, we're
okay.
all civilized, but they're it's he's showing me it's like they live in like a community or somewhere where they haven't been discovered, or something
Ooh,
where
yeah.
there's
Oh,
still tribes,
that's
you know,
cool.
because there's still, he says there's still a lot of that going on, you know, where tribes are
Yeah.
just even human tribes, you know, where they
Yeah.
um,
Haven't been discovered. So what
right.
are they? What's their purpose? Are they like in a sleeper state? You know, just pop up and say, "Hello, we're here, and here's what we're here to do." I mean, what's going on with them?
The way he's showing me, it's like we're needing their energy to help with the balance of this planet, just to
Oh,
help with the
yeah.
balance. He says, you know, you got to remember, we weren't created for nothing. There's a purpose in there in all of us. And he said, you know, regardless of who we are or what we, you know, whether we're bad, he's showing me like bad or good, we all had a purpose for here. It's just people are more curious about it because people are starting to become more aware that the Bible thing is not the absolute truth, and
Yeah, no kidding.
and that the God thing isn't.
Yeah, 80% of the Bible is not really, true,
Well,
according to
I've
Jesus.
never believed it. I've never believed it, and it's not because I don't like God or I don't like Jesus, because I absolutely know 100% without a shadow of a doubt that there is a God, a source, a universe,
Yeah.
whatever you want to
Oh,
call it.
come on.
I absolutely
But
know.
mankind manipulated the Bible to oppress the masses. All right, here's a
Mhm.
Bible question, actually. Were the Anunnaki part of the big battle of Genesis in the Bible? Were the ones that breeded with women of those times created the Nephilim? I have no idea what that is.
Yeah. He kind of smiles. I think he takes pride in this
Is that
answer.
Anunnaki or Erik?
Anunnaki, but
Oh, okay, okay. Mr.
sorry,
A, let's say Mr. A. Mr.
Mr.
A.
Mr. A, and he said they were participants. Yeah, they were
Oh,
participants.
wow. What
Hmm.
was the purpose of that battle? Because I don't know much about it.
He's telling me, you know, it was he. Eric goes, it was clearly a misunderstanding,
Oh,
and
should have read the memos.
but it's all about and the guy is saying it's really about miscommunication and
That
misunderstanding,
can
and
happen.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
basically that's what it was about. It's a miscommunication.
What was misunderstood?
I think territory. He's
I
saying.
was like, oh, I thought maybe it was like, no, on the seventh day we can't rest. It should be the fifth day. Or,
Eric is going, no, it's the eighth day.
oh, there we go. So what? So explain a little bit more, Erik or Mr. A. Mr. A.
You know, there's, you know, they're showing me. I'm asking Eric because I can feel him and hear him better. Erik is saying it's just about, it was a misunderstanding, basically is what it is and fear, you know, came in, and um, Erik is saying, you know, it's like they were very stubborn and didn't want to like be more, and it
The
was,
Anunnaki, right?
yes, he's
Who are they
saying yes.
fighting against in this Genesis battle? Another alien race? Humans or
Erik says they're humans, but they are of an alien. But we're all aliens here.
well,
But
that's true. But so it was the Anunnakis against who? Whom? Who?
I feel like it's
Whom?
another race. There's another race that they
Oh,
were fighting
okay.
against, and yeah, I just feel like it's another race. It's not the human. The
What is the race called, Erik? I mean, what does it start with? Maybe people will figure it out. What letter?
Erik is showing me. He's showing me it. It also starts with an A, whatever
Oh,
that
okay.
is. Whatever that is, he's showing me it starts with an A. But he says, you know, it's kind of like when they came here, it wasn't as. And I'm saying, how did you come here? You know, did you have this equipment? And they
Yeah.
made me feel like they did. You know, they weren't coming on horse and buggy by any means, but yes, but also it's almost like what Erik is showing me. It's almost like they could think they're self at a place and then they're there.
Oh, that'd be so cool, man.
Yeah, and it's like it's there, and Erik is showing me it's kind of like on Star Trek. Remember how they'd say, "Beam me up,
Yeah.
Scotty," and it's almost kind of like that is what he makes me feel like on. And there was a feel of threat going on, you know, threatened, and I feel like the Anunnakis, that they're very stern and stubborn, and
Okay.
Erik says they can be somewhat offensive, I guess would be
So they can be
aggressive,
dicks.
aggressive,
They can be
aggressive.
dicks.
Yeah.
Okay, so did the Anunnakis, Mr. A, have anything to do with the Rh negative blood type? There's a whole big thing about Rh and negative, how that came into our, our DNA. So, what do you got to say about that? I mean, where did that come from? From the Anunnakis or from some other?
Erik is telling me that didn't come from them, that came from another species.
Why? What's the purpose?
I feel like it was the way Erik is showing. It's almost like um, to integrate, like to integrate into this, like getting used to being in.
Okay.
Just yeah, I just feel like to
Into the human
integrate.
race?
Yeah, just
Okay.
integrate. Yeah, and Erik is saying, we're not just humans, like we
Oh,
think we
yeah,
are.
no, we're
And
hybrids, man.
yeah, Erik says we're
Yeah.
so much more, and he says we get real caught up in this body, and that's not what we should be caught up in. It's what's in the
No,
inside. He says,
no.
yeah.
All right, so are the Greek gods aliens?
Um, he says not in what that person wrote about is asking. It's not aliens like Erik says they're just highly evolved, and they come from a place that's different, and so, but you can call them aliens, but Erik says it's not like they're not lizards or
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that.
Some
Yeah,
creep,
they're not. Yeah,
not like aliens, the creepy types. Okay.
yeah.
Who were the first aliens to visit Earth? One person wants to know.
Um, Erik is showing me. He's saying some form of animals were.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Mm.
and it was kind of like Erik makes me feel like they were testing, and I'm like,
Wow.
and so I'm
Like
telling
that
Erik,
chimp we put out into space, just in case. Let's see,
yeah,
canary in the coal
yeah.
mine.
I'm
Yeah,
asking
really.
Erik, so they're doing animal testing back then, and Erik just laughs, and of course it's different, but Erik
Yeah,
is
but there's
saying,
no time. That's kind of a weird question. It's like
yeah, so
everything's always been, so that's kind of a tricky one.
I know
So
that throws me a little.
there's this whole thing about the soul trap people keep bringing up. It is said that we are trapped in this simulation, and that even the afterlife is a trap. Like something is trapping our souls. What's going on there? Sounds kind of creepy.
Erik says I'm not trapped.
Yeah. So what's going on? Weird.
Erik says you're getting a lot of different views from people who've been there, or heard from people who've been there, or people who know have been there, or whatever it is.
Okay.
And Erik is just saying they're formulating it into their words, and he says, and that's their truth. So that's true for them.
Yeah.
But for the ones that, and he's saying, like, for you and for me, we know that there is not a trap. There's
Yeah.
too much evidence from people from the other side that have visited us, and
Yeah.
that we have talked to even,
Yeah.
that it isn't. And Erik says, it's kind of like that trapped is kind of like what people consider like purgatory or something.
Oh yeah.
And it's, it's Erik's just saying he says that's not true. That is what Erik
Okay,
is saying.
that's good.
Yes.
I'm happy with that.
Me
Are
too.
the Anunnakis related to the Olmecs? Those big heads that are, I can't remember, what, Peru or something. Are you? Or does that have anything to do with the Anunnaki? The Olmecs?
Erik says, I don't know if they're related, but I feel like they know each other somehow or another. There's a relationship there of some sort. There's something.
Okay.
And
What
I
is it?
feel I feel
Yeah.
like what it is, those people, like they knew how to communicate with them or something. They knew how to, like, whatever it is they didn't have. So like if they didn't have eggs to make a cake, they would know to go to them for the eggs.
So the Olmecs were pretty much people who knew how to communicate with the Anunnaki.
Yes,
Right?
but and Erik is telling me it's like energetically, I guess telepathically,
Ah.
that they
Yeah.
knew how to do that. Um, yeah, I just don't. Yeah, I don't feel like.
That's a relationship. Okay.
I just don't feel like they were like what we would say like blood related.
Okay. Here's another one that's kind of similar. I would really love to know about the ancient megalithic ruins at Puma Punku in Bolivia. What was the structure used for before it was destroyed? Who built it? And when they did build it, and with what tools? What did it look like before it was destroyed? Why and when was the damage caused to the structure? What happened to the people that created it? So I don't know who created it. That's a lot of questions in one little.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So
And
tell me the basics. What do we need to know about these megalithic ruins at Puma Punka?
well, he said, Erik's laughing at you the way he's giving you thumbs up the way you pronounce it. There's a lot of and there still is, wherever that is, there's still a lot of energy there. Anybody who is could go there and just feel the energy that's still there.
Yeah.
I feel there was definitely Erik has shown me it's something like equivalent to kind of like a sound chamber here
Yeah.
that goes on. It is, the energy was very real, very intense. I feel like, like very, just, you could really feel the energy in there. It's almost, Erik is saying it would be like equivalent, like walking into a cave with just full of raw crystals or something.
Wow.
But the energy
So
is there.
what were the ruins? I mean, what and who created them?
Um, when we're asking about like who built it or whatever, I feel like it's someone who is related to whoever, um, or it's in the same vicinity of who built the pyramids and that. And how they did it was, they were able to.
They had the technology that the Coral House guy in Florida had, of having this
They do have
alien instrument that was able to lift really heavy masses and put it into.
Because they're showing me like how they did it. It was like, it was energetically, but they had equipment that we don't have.
Oh, I got it. Yeah. Are they Anunnaki? They're not Anunnaki then.
No,
huh?
no.
Okay, so that's the main thing, I guess.
But the and I feel like it was destroyed because we destroyed it, no,
Oh,
we just,
human beings.
yeah, we destroyed it, just
Shame
like,
on you, Denise.
I know it, and
Mm,
but the thing that even though the building isn't there, it's already
the
in the
energy
earth.
is, yeah,
It's
okay.
in the earth, and
What was the purpose of the ruins of the, not the ruins, but the original before it was ruined? What was it for?
um, like I just what they're showing me is kind of like a gathering. I don't want
Okay.
to not a gathering place, but I feel like there was so much more that went on in there.
Okay.
There was so much more that went on.
Worship, all sorts of stuff.
I get he says healing for
Healing.
one,
Oh, wow.
healing in there because vibration energy can heal everything and anything, and but just the healing and also there was I feel like there was a connection with their gods or whatever you want to call it. There was their
They're
source.
leaders.
Yeah, there was a connection.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So, this one person wants to know about the elongated skulls of ancient Peru. Who were they? And that's true. I mean, this like Queen Nefertiti even had this big. It's almost like people in Egypt try to, bound the skulls of newborns to make their skulls elongated, like they were trying to mimic some alien. So, who were they? Where and when did they come? Were they technology advanced? Did they have telepathic? What's the name of the species? Just anything you tell me about it, basically. But make it short because we have some questions I need to get through.
Okay. Yes, they were very technology advanced, and when you ask that, I feel like that's a given with with everyone that comes around here. They have to be, is what I'm
Yeah,
hearing.
of course, that makes
And
sense. Yeah.
uh, and what was the other one? I'm sorry, my
Oh,
mind.
just tell me anything. Who were these people with the the elongated skulls of ancient Peru?
Yeah,
Were they,
because when
what
you
alien race were they, if they were an alien race? Or was it some people in Appalachia, the inbreeding, they can create some weird stuff. But go ahead.
I just think it was the way Erik is showing me that it's yes, there was some crossing going on, and but I don't know why, but I just feel like that's how. I don't feel like it was. I don't know because I'm asking him because Erik is saying
Were they
it.
Anunnaki? Let's just go with that.
No, they weren't that, but
Okay.
they weren't that. But who I keep, who I thought was like an alien, like one of those. When you say, because when you're talking about like
Yeah.
that guy, is that one guy that played Star Trek? He was the ball-headed
Oh, yeah.
white man. Because
Yeah.
I saw him on a show or something the other day. I forget what it was the other day. It's probably a couple months ago. And I was like, he looks like an alien. And then there was a
Well, it
woman. I
was.
wish yeah. And I saw a woman and I'm like, are they like from the same race or something? Because it was just real odd to me how
Yeah.
their heads were kind of back. It wasn't like
That's weird.
huge back, but it was,
Yeah.
but I remember thinking, I'm wondering
But
if
my kids, they had this prominent occiput. But anyway, we got to be real quick here. Okay. Who built the pre-Inca sections of the ancient megalithic Inca Roca wall in Cusco? The stones look as if they were melted into place. Just one name. What? Who?
when Erik says, wasn't it the Incas that did that?
I guess, maybe. Well, okay, so there wasn't an alien race to do that?
I feel like they had help from.
Okay, but not Anunnaki or yes, Anunnaki?
Um, Erik is not giving me yes for sure. He's just saying they had help, but they knew how to connect.
Okay, that's fine.
They knew how. If we knew how to connect, we wouldn't have to work as hard.
Oh God. I would like to know any information about the recently discovered Nazca mummies that have 3 fingers on each hand and the same on each foot. What alien race is that? Or maybe they were part of a cult that you had to have some fingers and toes cut off. I don't know, but go ahead. Go
I'm
for it.
asking Eric, did they have to have? He says no. He says because not all of us come with the 10 fingers. Like different races. Not all of us come with that, and not all of us come with 10 toes. Some of us come with
Yeah, but was that a race? These Nazca mummies? An alien race of some sort? And if what's going on with it
He
here?
says it's a breed. It's a different breed. So I'm saying, I would go, Eric, is it an alien? He said yes, but it's like a breed within the alien race. And I'm asking him, like, which alien is it? And I don't get it's the Anunnaki. I don't get it's
Okay.
that.
Were they part human? Like a hybrid?
Eric says, yeah, he said yes, because, they had, they had fluid in their veins and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yes, but they didn't have all the insides like we do. Not
Okay, so there was some sort of hybrid, but all right.
Yeah.
All right. Very quickly, was Zechariah Sitchin a Freemason who spread disinformation purposely? And did he mistranslate the Sumerian cuneiform on purpose? Wow, I never heard of that. That's interesting. Just yes or no. Yes or no. As a Freemason, did he spread disinformation purposely and misinterpret the Sumerian cuneiform on purpose? Yes or no.
Eric says he didn't interpret it on purpose wrong. He interpreted the way, he just interpreted it his way. Did he spread and I'm asking Eric, did he spread lies and stuff? Eric said, I feel like he did it to. Eric makes me feel like he did it for harm, for fear, to spread fear.
Why would he do that?
I know, and just to, and also to, I feel like he exaggerated whatever it was he was talking about.
So what was the purpose, Eric, of that, baby?
Control, just to
Sounds like
see.
an asshole. Okay, real quick, I got just 3 more, 2, 3, yeah. Were Inanna and Erishkigal real people? Just yes or no. Quick,
He says yes.
Okay, the first time the Anunnaki are mentioned in the Sumerian myth of the goddess Inanna traveling to the underworld and finding her sister Ereshkigal in the underworld, the mines. 7 Anunnaki apparently sat in judgment. Is that whole thing true? That this,
There's some truth to it, Eric says. There's some truth.
Okay, so what were the Anunnaki sitting in judgment about? I mean, here's this lady trying to get her sister out of the underworld, and they're sitting in judgment. So, what happened?
Erik says that it was more of an interrogation type approach, and I just feel like that there was a feeling of betrayal on their part somehow.
On his part, the Anunnaki?
Yeah, there was some form of betrayal. Not that what the women did or didn't do was wrong or nothing like that. But Erik is saying that there was a feeling of some kind of betrayal. So Erik says that's why I'm picking up on like an interrogation type.
Interrogate. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Did the Christian concept of dying and reborn God Jesus come from the Sumerian dying and reborn Inanna, this woman we've been talking about. Does that come from that?
The whole thing didn't come from that, but Erik says it kind of started a story. It's kind of like.
Well, let me read the rest of it, actually. I didn't see this. The story says that there were two alien / Anunnaki brothers who were put in charge of the worker miners, because they wanted our gold, right? One of those brothers sought to free the miners by illuminating them and giving them knowledge. The other brother sought to keep them ignorant and in compliance, never questioning who they thought were gods. Some say this is where the concept of Lucifer comes from, e.g., the bringer of knowledge. Lucifer is the brother who sought to free them by bringing knowledge. So, what's up with that? What do you think? I got one more minute.
Erik says that there is some truth to that, but it's more in depth than just that, and it's about light and dark. It's about, you got to have contrast. You got to have contrast.
All right. So, what was the purpose of it then? Is that what Lucifer's all about?
Not solely. Not solely. Not
Well,
that's
tell me
not,
what you can and make it juicy. We want to end up on a juicy note.
Erik says, that they get some of the story. Some of that story is true, Erik says. But
yeah, what part? But go ahead.
There was about bringing the truth and knowing who source is, God is, or whatever you want to call it. There is truth to some part in that, but I feel like there was the truth is like they were promised something else by someone else, and this other person's trying to tell them, don't believe in that promise, look at this, because this is what all you're wanting is, or something. I guess like the truth will set you free.
And is that person is that Lucifer, or is it the person that is fighting against Lucifer? So
I feel like
it's saying don't listen to these people. Who is saying that?
When you said that, Erik is showing me that is Lucifer.
Okay. So is Lucifer an Anunnaki or some other alien race? Or is he just a fallen angel?
Erik says he's more than just like what we say is a fallen angel. He's so much more than that. His energy is so much more than that.
Yeah.
Is he an Anunnaki? I don't feel like I don't feel that from Erik. Erik isn't showing me that.
Okay.
Erik just isn't showing. I feel like, Lucifer just walked over and said, "Hey, how's it going?" And they were like, "Oh my God, no, no, no," or whatever.
So Lucifer had some communication with the Anunnakis.
That's what. Yes, that's what I'm getting. Like he just had some kind of communication, was able. That's what I'm getting. Lucifer type of energy or whatever. I don't know if it is the Lucifer, but it's definitely the Lucifer energy, I guess. And Erik is saying, yes, it is that person, because yes.
Okay, so to wrap it up, anything else you want to add, Mr. A or Mrs. A, or Erik or Denise? Anything else you want to add before we close?
Erik says it's good. This is all history, what we're learning. This is kind of like history, even though everything is now, this is history. He wants everyone to know. And so he wants everyone to know we still have control over our own bodies, even though we feel like we don't.
Yeah.
And he says that's the main thing to remember, is that we have control of our bodies. And Mr. A is agreeing with Erik, and he's also wanting to say, that there is a force out there, but it's really more out there for our protection.
Good.
But we're so caught up in the fear that we're thinking everybody is against
I
us.
know. Well, that's what people do. Humans, they think of the worst case scenario all the time. Anyway, thank you so much. I love you, Erik. I love you, Denise. You guys check her out at deniseramon.com, which I'll put here. Thank you. And Denise, I will talk to you tomorrow on our Tuesday night radio show.
Yes, and Erik says, bye, Mama. He says, I love you. And he's thanking you so much for the best birthday.
Oh, that cake was so good. It was just like a giant cake. Supposed to get a small one, but that didn't work out. It's covered with rainbow sprinkles. It was awesome. All right. Love you.
Awesome. Love you too. You take care.
Bye.